Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how I made this very lovely corset top. So let's get started. So I'm using an old denim dress for this project, so I guess this is an upcycling project. And for this I'm using my Natalie Bray bodice pattern. I've transferred it onto fresh pattern paper to my desired length, and I've also extended my shoulder dart and my waist dart to my true bust line. Now after drawing my bust radius, I'm going ahead to double my shoulder dart, and this is to remove the excess ease above this pattern because it's a strapless design. And next on that circle, I'm going ahead to measure 3/8 inches on both sides of my waist dart, and I will just connect that to my true bust line and connect the lower part to my waistline. So next I'm going ahead to divide the space between my true bust point to the side of my pattern into two, and I'm also dividing the space between the first dart leg to the side of the pattern into two, and this is to create the other panel because I want 5 panels in front, so the center front to be cut on fold and then the 2 side panels. So once that is done, I'm going down by 1/2 inch and coming in by 1/2 inch on the side, and I'll just go ahead and connect that to my waistline. And now I'm going in to draw the top of this top, the upper part of this top. I'm just connecting it, as you guys can see, just drawing a slight V in front, and that is it. Now I'm moving on to the back. I'm going ahead to draw my horizontal balance line, and from here I'm going to connect this down to my dart point and basically just redraw my dart as so. Next, I'm going in 1/2 inch from the side and coming down 1/2 inch just like we did for the front, and I'm just going ahead now to redraw my back line. After which I'm going in to measure what I have on the waist, excluding the dart, so don't measure the dart, and whatever you get here, write it down, then minus what you actually need from that, and by doing that you get what you need to create the dart of that new panel that we created, as you guys can see me doing here. So I'm just going to curve those points so it's not so pointy, and then I went down, I dropped my waistline by about 1.5 inch, and I'm connecting that to my side. And now I'm just going in to make it not so pointy again by just using that curved ruler, after which I'm going ahead to cut it out. But when cutting out, make sure to close the dart, as you guys can see me doing, because it just, you get better result that way. And now I decided to extend my true bust line to my back, so this can serve as like my notch, my guideline when joining the patterns together. So I'm going ahead to cut out all my pieces, and make sure to label before cutting out so it's just easy to reassemble them when it's time. So you can see I closed that back point as well before cutting, and this is because it's my straight line, so it's just best to do it that way. And now that is it. Here we have our pieces, front and back pieces, and now it's time to cut it out. So I'm just disassembling this dress, and to get it ready to be cut into my new pattern pieces. So once that is done, I went ahead, folded it in half, and I'm just going ahead to place the pattern, basically just trying to make the most of this dress, as you guys can see. Yeah, and I have some left, so I may use that for something else. Let's watch and see. So yeah, I have all my pieces already cut, and yes, I also decided to cut lining to line the inner part of this top, and I just put some interfacing around the bust area of the lining just to give it a bit of structure so my nipples don't like pucker out. And now I'm just going ahead to join my lining pieces together, right sides together as usual, just join all your pieces front to back, except the center back. You want to leave the center back open, so yeah. And next I'm also going to join all my pieces for the top as well. And now I'll go ahead and trim off one part of the seam allowance, so not both. You guys can see what I'm doing. I'm trimming off just one part. So basically you decide where you want your seam to face, where you want the boning to face, and then trim off the seam allowance on that part. And the plan here is to sew the part that we did not trim off down like so, and then create our boning channel. So I'll just go ahead and do that for the rest of the garment. Trim off the seam allowance on the parts that I want the boning channel to be, as you guys can see me doing here. So at the back I faced it towards the center back, at the front I faced it towards the center front. So once that is done, I'm going ahead to just sew down the other seam allowance that we did not trim to create the boning channel. So I decided to not fold this in, especially since we are still going to line this and this is on the inside anyway, so I just sewed it down straight up. So this is it, all sewn down, and yeah, it's looking good, even though I'm using like old clothing. And this is the lining. You guys can see the bust, just the interfacing just gives it structure around the bust area. So now I'm just going ahead to burn the ends of my boning so it doesn't like pierce my fabric. And once that is done, you want to go ahead and insert your boning. So I'm not using my boning channel, so I'm removing the boning from the boning channel. But most bonings don't come with boning channel anyway, so you don't have to worry about this. And when inserting your boning, you want to make sure you do not insert into the entire part, like exclude your seam allowance, because you need to join the lining and the fabric together, so you don't want boning in the seam allowance. So just go ahead and insert the rest of the boning. So this was like the next week because I had to order zipper. I did not have a suitable zipper. So now it's time to finish off this top, and I'm just going ahead to join right sides together. So right side of the denim to the right side of the lining. Make sure to align all your seams. Just pin everything down before taking it to your sewing machine to sew. So I'm pinning down the lower part as well. So basically we'll go ahead and sew the upper part and the lower part, leaving the center back open. So once that is done, I'm going in to trim off the excess seam allowance, after which I'm going in to just snip my seams so it's easier to turn this when it's time. And I'm doing the same thing for the lower part as well. So now go ahead and turn it, and then I gave it a good press, and guys, it looks so good. So now we're almost done. All that is left is to insert the zip, and for this I'm finishing that center back with a bias tape, as you guys can see me doing here, just to make it neat. So once that is done, go ahead, change to your zipper foot, and then insert your zip. And actually we're almost done. Now I'm just going in to trim off the excess on top of the zipper, and then we'll fold it in. We've been through this a lot of times, but basically just fold it to the other side and sew it down, and that's it guys, the top is ready. So here's the end result of the top, and guys, I'm really feeling myself in this top. Like, I can't wait to wear it out. You can wear it like this with, you know, a denim trouser or a skirt like I did here, And oh my god, I love this combination so much. You can also wear it with a shirt like I did here. So fun fact, this shirt actually belongs to my husband. Yeah, or you can wear it with a shirt dress. So I wore shorts underneath. And you can also wear it with a classic t-shirt like I did in the next clip. Now, where is that next clip? Okay, here it is. So I think this is my favorite. Let me know which is your favorite. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.